Nick, welcome to Podcastina.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming here. What are you looking forward to right now?
I'm shooting a pilot in 3 or 4 weeks, so I'm super excited about that. That has like my mind's eye right now.
That's freaking cool. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you say a lot about it, or is it pretty hush-hush?
No, not really. It's not like a Marvel movie or whatever. So Kurt Metzger wrote it, and it's about a company that you hire to run a smear campaign on another political party.
I appreciate that you used the Hebrew or Yiddish schmear.
I say smear. I've had
Schmear's
this
better.
like debate with myself. I like schmear.
I'm with you.
So it's about this company, this sort of like island of misfit toys employees. It's kind of like The Office, if instead of a paper company, it was trying to have like pseudo tactical takedowns of whoever's running for senator or whatever. So the company is founded by, actually, I wonder if I should be saying all this. Who cares? There's like a billionaire who like is kind of, over the hill and is just like throwing his money at random stuff. So he funds this company and then kind of puts a bunch of idiots in charge. And I play his son. So I'm like a former cokehead, just like dick who really like only cares about one thing, and it's winning his father's approval, but buries that underneath layer upon layer of like pseudo masculinity and drug addiction and just partying, and like there's a heart of gold in him all the way down. And it's a character that I can understand really well, but it's fun because everything that I play that people see, except in certain moments, is just fun, and they let us improvise a lot. So like, it's cool. I'm super excited about it. I know it maybe sounds gauche to be like, here's this career thing I'm excited about, and I think maybe that would have been the case if you had asked me this question and I had this answer like a couple of years ago. But with acting specifically, I got to a place where I stopped taking auditions. I fired a bunch of reps and like rediscovered a relationship to acting because I was having bad auditions, literally hating the process, was getting tremendous anxiety every time I would get like a self-tape or something. And then this opportunity came by way of a live show that I was doing. And so I could answer your question much more briefly.
You don't have to. It's a podcast. We're trying to fill time here.
Great. Well, then you can go get lunch or something if you want. We'll be fine.
I'm
hey,
milking
guys. Welcome to Niklina, Kalina, Podcastina.
There we go. Nailed it.
Yeah, so this is how the whole thing started. I did this live show, and then I went and I did a spot at the Creek in the Cave, which is a comedy club in Austin. And I'm doing a spot on that show, and I get off, and Kurt Metzger, who I'd met a couple times but like didn't know him, was like, "Hey, you're Nick or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And he's like, "I wrote this pilot, and we have a production company, and the casting director said that they wanted you for this part." And I was like, "Oh, like, well, that's cool." And then in the inside, I was like, "Oh my god, are you fucking serious? What the hell?
Gotta
You
play
even
it
know
cool.
who I am?" So trying to play it cool, trying to act like I've like been in that situation. Hi. What?
He's like, don't forget, I'm here.
Come here. You're the.
This happens every episode.
I love you so much. Yeah.
He wants to be in the pilot too.
Do you want to be in the pilot? My character has a dog now. So
It sounds like your character would have a designer dog.
He maybe would, yeah, but he's also like a piece of shit, kind of, because I think he thinks that the things he values are objectively awesome. So like when he like bursts into the room and tells a story about how he like, did coke off an armadillo last night, like everyone's gonna be like, "What, dude? That's amazing, and we like you more now." When in reality, everybody's like, "Dude, you're a degenerate loser. What's wrong with you?" So I I'm talking to Kurt, and he's like, "Hey, let me."
These mics are weak, so you can keep it close. Sorry to interrupt. Not running a sophisticated production over here.
My bad. So he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, like what's the character?" And he was like, "Oh, it's like Ben Shapiro. It's basically a parody of Ben Shapiro." And I think it was originally supposed to be, what's that dude? He's so fun. Kyle Dunnigan, who's amazing in impressions and stuff. And he was like, I think Kurt had said he wrote it for him. And I had done an SNL screen test that had Ben Shapiro as one of the impressions, and it's online. So I imagined that maybe they saw that, and he was like, "Oh no, they said they saw you like at a live show, which was acting off." So I was like, "Okay, cool." I went in for the audition, and I didn't have reps, and I wasn't doing a lot of acting outside of the acting off show. So I was like, this is just an exercise in acting for me, and I'm just going to super prepare, and I'm going to come in with a character. I'm going to enter the building as this guy, and when I talk to the producers or whatever, I'm going to be this guy, and I'm just going to do what I think is interesting about acting, which is like disappearing and then reappearing with this other true part of yourself. And then it ended up being like 6 auditions with like including screen tests and then like chemistry reads and stuff. And then they offered me the part. At which point, they're like about to kind of choose the whole cast, and then they were like, "Hey," because at this point, once I had kind of had a feeling, they had sort of said some things to me. I was like, okay, I've got the part. I started to relax and not come in character and stuff, and then they saw my vibe and my dynamic with some of the other actors and comedians, and they were like, "Hey, we think you'd be great in this part. Do you want to audition for this part?" And so I did, and I booked it in the room. Like I hate like talking about. We can talk about my many failures later to balance the pod, but
it's okay. We start celebratory, and then we can go downhill, and then we have all this room to go downhill. That's why I set it up like that, like a roller coaster.
The self-deprecation.
That's right.
Yeah, it would be way worse if I sat down here and was like, "My life sucks and nothing good ever happened. I don't even think your dog's
It's cute." The opposite of a comedy set where like you have to kind of disarm the audience by doing the self-deprecating joke first, and then you can win them over. On the podcast, it's like start by telling them why they should be dialed in, and then we can ruin their perception of you as they get further into the episode.
By the end of the podcast, they'll hate you from the pilot. But yeah, so long story short, so then I read for this other thing, and I could feel it too because Brian Callen is in the show, and he called me the night before, and he was like, "Hey man, do you want to like read for this new audition? Like, or how do you feel about it?" And I was like, "I got it." And I hung up, and I am not good at memorizing sides. It takes me a really long time. I
suck at it too.
It's hard.
The
only way that I've succeeded with it is by going through each word and asking myself, what is this person feeling? And then remembering what the feeling is, and then the words start to come to me. But it comes out very staccato if I don't have the time or opportunity to do that. So I didn't do any of that. For the first character, I went in. And then for this one, I was just like, I'm just going to riff. And it was just really natural. It was just like very much like in my wheelhouse. And so then they gave me that part. And that journey is why I'm excited about it. Because it doesn't really feel just like a paycheck, or it feels like an opportunity to get to come into a room with people that I like and like just have fun, where the bar is pretty low because it's like, it's a pilot, you know what I mean? And it's not a live show. So like you can't bomb. I mean, you could have bad takes or whatever, but ultimately like the edit wins. And so this is just like pretend time. So yeah.
Well, good. That's all exciting. Thanks. Can I see your Ben Shapiro?
I feel bad in saying no, but I'm going to say no.
That's fine.
Because there's like,
Is it too anti-Semitic?
No, it wasn't even anti-Semitic. It was.
Well, no, you said you did it for SNL.
Yeah, it was very like garbage and jargony. It was like the way that he, you know what I mean? It was I just did him saying things he wouldn't say. So it was like making fun of himself and stuff like that. But the way that I do impressions is either I hear them and I got it, or it's one that I just kind of been doing forever. And some of them are obscure. But then when I tested for SNL, I tested as a character actor. But I'd been doing stand-up since I was in high school and had never done a character showcase in my life. But they were interested in me because they saw impressions online. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then the first year was COVID, and I didn't get the show. And then the second year they asked me to come in, they were like, he's great at do more impressions and characters. So I learned a bunch that I did not think I would be able to do. And somebody left a comment on a video and said you could probably do Ben Shapiro because I think I was talking fast and something. So I learned how to do like Michael Shannon and Ben Shapiro and just like people that I would never think to do impressions. And so the short answer is I probably can't do it anymore. But I would learn them as fast as I could, as well as I could, and then showcase with them. And then like kind of like stand-up jokes, you're like, all right, that one's done. Now I'll never like if somebody comes up to you and go, hey, do that bit about that. You're like, I don't even know how to do it. I don't even remember it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's so true. That's going to be...
Now I feel like a pussy.
No.
Okay, let me do...
Unless, do you have one like locked and loaded that you're like, I feel good about this one?
I remember like his case. So I would always start by... Because some of the impressions that I would learn, sometimes the way in would be a physical thing, or sometimes a vocal thing, or sometimes, and for him, it was always going like this. Like there was something about going like this that would make me start to feel like it's absolutely garbage. It's trash. It's unacceptable to behave that way. And then it would start to come. Yeah. But then other ones are just like, I think I know what that guy's feeling. Like at some point I could do a pretty decent James Franco. And it was because I was watching a lot of scenes of him in comedies and I could recognize that feeling that he had because it reminded me of me and my friends. And so it's weird. Sometimes like getting an emotion is a good enough impression.
Right.
It's weird how that works, but it really is like, because it's a very technical skill to be able to mimic a sound.
Yeah.
You might not understand how you're doing it, but it's weird that the human body can just do that.
Like the explanation is very bizarre.
Yeah. I've always been fascinated by that like at some point I'm a teenager, maybe I'm 11 or 12 or something, and I hear somebody speaking with a British accent, and I don't know how to do it, but because I hear it, I'm be like, my brain just knows what to do in my throat to make that sound come out. Right. It's like so fascinating to me. I don't understand why.
Accents are easier than impressions, though.
They are, but I think part of that is knowing that you're doing one person. Because if you believed there was a country of people that sound like Ben Shapiro, it would be easier for your brain to unlock because it's a more generalized thing. Specificity makes it scary, I think.
Oh, yes. You know what would be... This is always a fear of mine that I have to, like, make sure that I'm sober, I think, around British people, is that I'm so fucking tempted to do that accent back in their face. And I can't. Yep. I can't let it happen. I haven't let it happen yet. But man, do I want to. I have an English friend that I always have to be like, don't, Galina, don't.
I don't know. I mean, I'm of two minds about it. Yeah, okay, maybe it's a little disrespectful if you don't do it sort of charmingly. But also it's like, hey, we sound different. And that's weird and interesting. Like, why not? Like, because my closer for a while was that I'm so immature that if I meet somebody with an accent, I physically cannot stop myself but to do it to them. And some people are cool with it, and some people are super not. But that moment is always funny because if you choose to jump on it, then you're going and just waiting to see if they're okay with that.
It's like letting out a fart where you're like, can I?
Yeah.
Is this okay right now? Is this okay in this moment? I was just out on a date with an Irish guy, and I was like worried he would have like a very thick Irish accent. Luckily, it was very subtle, so it wasn't.
What about it being thick would have been like...
I can't date someone where I would need fucking subtitles for us to have a conversation.
I like the Irish accent. I think it's
I like
quite
it too.
charming.
It was good, and it was kind of blended. He said he lived in Oxford for a while, so he had almost like a blended accent.
So did it sound more English?
more
Plus, there's
English.
like an Irish brogue that you barely can understand.
It wasn't that.
That one's fun today.
He didn't sound like he passed out at the Guinness factory, that's for sure. He just sounded like normal. So.
Like he's wearing suspenders and just a colored white shirt.
But I was
soaking all the way.
nervous. Yeah. And then people, the only accent I'll comfortably do out in public or online is like a Soviet accent, because that's what my family sounds like. So
Sure.
I'm like, oh, I can do Russian all day. Of course, this is what my family sounds like. It's easy for me. And then I'll do it in videos and people are like, that's a racist accent. And I'm like, are you serious?
First of all, I don't think
you can be racist towards white people. I really don't think you can be racist towards your own fucking people.
Definitely not that.
Right?
You definitely can't. Because if
Russian's my first language, bitch. I'll do the accent
if a black
all day.
kid is at home and he goes, "Man, I suck," that's not a hate crime.
Right.
It's just being self-deprecating. Like you can't. What are you talking about? But I think yes, I'm in full support. I also think though that it's interesting that you'll lean into an accent that for you is so familial, because I can do a very good Greek accent because one, I speak Greek, and two, my whole family's Greek and from Greece, and it's my culture. But because it is, I have such proximity to it that it's zero interesting to me. I've done it for a couple comedy things, but it doesn't even, it annoys me.
Right. I only do it on stage because some bits just like require it if I'm talking about my parents.
Sure. Yeah. I don't even know that people, Russian is so identifiable. Mm-hmm. Eastern European accents are so identifiable. And I think it's because you're white and then we see you have that sound and we go, that's wrong. There's like something about it where you're like, no. Like white people are supposed to sound like, hi, you know what I mean? And then you guys are like, we have marbles in our mouths. It's like
I always feel so lucky that I don't have that accent.
Thank God.
I know. My whole life, people's entire perception of me would be different, and it would just be based on me having a Russian accent.
For sure.
What I had.
I mean, definitely this Irish guy was probably at home going like, oh, I hope she doesn't fucking sound like Chekhov or whatever. Yeah.
It went well, thankfully.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, who knows? He allegedly went out of town for 2 weeks.
I would always feel bad about this because as a comic, you literally just go out of town all the time.
Mm-hmm. Not for weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'll be gone for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be back Monday, bitch.
Yeah, you're gone for the exact amount of time that would make you excited to see somebody you hit it off with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. The idea of, I think we have such a privilege in being comedians because I feel like there is a reason to meet us. The idea of like, apropos of nothing other than pretending you're not horny or lonely to go meet somebody. Every date is a lie. Every date is a lie. Unless you sit down and you go like, I really want to fuck you. And then she goes, I just need someone around. Like, and then every date is a lie. Because you sit down and you go like, oh, I noticed your shoes. Have you ever been bowling? I actually have not gotten, like, it's, what do we do? It's just like a weird play. So that 3.5 weeks in, you can go like, here's how I actually feel about something. And then they go, oh, that's actually an acceptable feeling to me. And then you're real people. But everything before that is just so... And here's why I think we have a benefit of being comedians. Comedy is so fun to watch. And the comedian is interesting to talk to. It's an interesting person to meet because they do a weird thing. If it goes poorly, that's interesting. If it goes great, that's awesome. So, and then it's more than anything else, it's a place to invite someone. If I don't know you and I have a phone and you have a phone, we both have Wi-Fi, and I go, want to meet at this bar? Why? On the off chance you're interesting? Like,
but I would never invite a date to a show.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
It's different for men and women, and the way that I heard it phrased that really resonated with me is that like,
I'm so excited to hear this.
Stage pussy's great, stage dick is weird.
Wait,
like fan puss is great, but fan dick is weird.
Ah, that truer words never spoken. Oh my! Every comic friend of mine that is a woman that has described this has said the same thing, and actually I observe it too. One of my friends from New York. I can't say her name because she opened for me somewhere, and she invited a guy to come like hang out with her, and he sucked so hard. Being a dude that likes comedy, here's a cancelable thought. Being a dude that likes comedy so much that like you want to date a woman who's professionally funny, something about that feels beyond gendered and almost fetish. Mm-hmm. I don't know that that's true,
very, very
but it's
rare.
Weirdly specific.
Yeah, I mean, the men in my DMs are weird. It's not anything enticing. It's always like, of course, and every woman, not just comedian, but women just, we all have like 10 guys in Bangladesh being like, you're so beautiful. I'm like sending 500 rose emojis. Like we all have that, comedian or not.
Yeah.
But the like male fans who message, it's just always creepy from the jump. Like it just never, I've not once had it be, as opposed to like my male comedian friends will show me their DMs, and don't get me wrong, there's crazy shit in there, but there's a lot more of just like normal kind of just
for
girl
sure.
fans, and
For
it's
sure.
a lot more of like an attractive quality for a man to be funny, versus when a woman is funny, that tends to be more of a threat than an attraction.
I think so. And you also have to be super funny as a dude, comedian or not. I don't know why I'm losing my voice.
You're just very passionate about this.
I just care. I care. I think comedian or not, you have to be so funny that you feel that a woman being funny is additive and not threatening. Like I've been in relationships where I was obviously the funny one, and then this other person would get to enjoy being silly with me because I kind of chaperoned us into that energy. And then I've dated not many, but a couple people that I was like, oh, we're having a blast. You're so funny. But that, I think it's rare by way of like experience points. Like I think a lot of either, in the home parenting or society is like telling women to fucking relax. Whereas like my entire youth was sometimes literally verbally people being like, be crazier, do more bad things for attention.
No girl's ever been told to be crazier.
I have never seen a woman be told to try to backflip off of a garbage can.
Yeah, never.
Like the show Jackass had a very different experience. Like it had a different effect on men than it did women. Mm-hmm. Like and I think it's like reflected too. This is a rabbit hole, but like it's definitely reflected in like not necessarily our sexual culture, but in the comfortability we have with like certain taboos. Like dudes grab each other's dicks to say hi. Would you ever go up to one of your girlfriends and
my friends and I do grab each other's boobs? We do all the time.
First of all, boobs is one thing,
yeah.
But like, would you ever like, and say you're not a stand-up, or say she's not a stand-up, would you cup a friend's pussy?
I mean, I guess because I'm a comedian, I can't take that out of it. Sure. I have and would again. That's funny to me and my friends. Like I came to one of my friends was having a Super Bowl party one time.
Funny, by the way. I'm not saying that it should have so much more. It's hilarious.
Well, I like walk into my friend's bathroom, and I was late to the Super Bowl party, and they were like, Galina, let's go to the bathroom. And then it's like me and 5 chicks, and we go to the bathroom, and they're like, take your pants off. We just want to see what you look like down there.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, yeah, of course, obviously. So,
I love that. I actually really like knowing that women have that thing too.
Yeah, but this was also, I think, out of the 5 of us, it was like 3 comedians and 2 women who are friends with nothing but comedians.
Yeah,
so it's very normalized behavior.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, you got a coin slot, girl. And I was like, bet. So yeah, it's like among my friends I do that, but I can see how that's not for every circle. I could see how that would have gotten me kicked out of a sorority at some point.
Right. Well, I think that's kind of my point too, is like I have a bunch of friends all in business, finance, whatever, who, not to say all my friends are in that, but my friends who are in that as a metric of how serious they should be, who are like as unhinged in colloquial behavior as like the craziest comedian you know. Like a couple people come to mind that I'm like, oh, it's almost like a miracle for that guy's parents that he doesn't do stand-up. Like dudes are just wild.
Yeah. But it is encouraged. You're right.
It's encouraged. Yeah. By me.
Because personality is such I mean, personality is and should be a factor for everybody, but just societally, it's like women were valued for our caretaking and our nurturing skills and how kind are we, how warm are we, not how funny are we, how brazen are we, like how entertaining we are. That's not measured up against us as like a desirable thing. We're supposed to be meek.
No, that's
it's
true.
Wrong. But it's also why you look around, and I think about this a lot, like the landscape of female comedians who have found success in relationships. Very few are with non-entertainment, non-comedians or non-entertainment people. Like, think about married
or they're
female
with like
comedians.
a Stedman type, like just a guy you don't even know what his face looks like. He's got some weird job. He's quiet.
Yeah, which I'm like, can I tolerate that, or would I get bored? I haven't really been in a long-term relationship with anybody who has had a quote-unquote normal job in a while, so I can't really speak to whether I'm gonna get so bored.
Yeah.
But it is weird. It does make it a thing. Like, I went out on one date here. It was the first date I went on since moving to Austin. And I also will say that this city is not used to being any kind of entertainment hub. And for there to all of a sudden be like a thriving comedy scene here, folks are not used to it. And so there's a little bit of weirdness. I went out with this guy and he takes me to this restaurant and he goes, Tony Hinchcliffe eats here sometimes. And I'm like, did you fucking bring me here to orchestrate a run-in so I would introduce you or something? Why are you telling me that? That's insane.
That so much.
I know, I hate it too.
I hate that on a number of levels.
Yeah, and then Monterey Martinez was like, "Don't tell people you're a comedian," and I'm like, "What am I supposed?" But that's my life. Like, it's so important.
It's so much more than.
It's not just my job. It's my identity. It's my like social circle. I'm just supposed to hide that from people I'm dating for how long?
It's also. It's your identity. It's not just your job. It's your job. And it's also, like, I don't know that there's a piece of information you could reveal about yourself that is more practically informative.
Yes.
Hey, Nick, explain your day. Oh, if I don't tell you what I do, but I explain the day, I'm Batman. That's it. That's the only other thing I could be is Batman or Spider-Man. Yeah. If I just go, during the day, I'm kind of inside working on my computer. And then at night, don't worry about it. Oh, you a mugger? What are you doing?
I thought about this too. I thought being a comedian would be a really good cover story for a vampire.
Hilarious.
Like, sorry, I only go out at night.
That's great. I'm just a stand-up.
You just have a tight 10 on blood. You know when she's on her period and it's delicious.
So the other day I was in the store at night. That's so funny.
I can't believe they haven't done that in any vampire movie.
Right. It's a perfect excuse. It's
it is.
Fucking cares about stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they know. That's not true. They really do now. But
make some noise if you're from Transylvania. Sorry, I can't stop.
We can keep going.
Monty, do you think that's funny?
Do you think that's
funny? Do you think that's funny?
Yeah, hi.
How do you feel about woo-woo-ness? Are you a woo-woo spiritual guy at all?
I think that I don't present as such, but actually I can't say that I am in terms of anybody else's woo-woo-ness. Like, I don't know that I would identify with somebody else's like practices or perception or whatever. But and I've been willing to admit this more as I get older. I'm extremely emotional, and I definitely have like a sense of my relationship to the world, and so yeah. Give me like a specific.
Do you believe in the power of manifestation?
Yeah, but I don't even think this is like. I don't even think it's like some people are vegan because they have chosen to adopt the practices because they believe in the benefits and have seen the benefits. I think a lot of people think that like manifestation is like analogous to that, whereas for me, I just think, no, that just is the case.
Because that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's just reality. Words form reality.
Totally. And I've always felt that way. It wasn't like I learned what manifestation was as like a sort of trend at some point, the same way that like meditation became one. I feel like in the early aughts it was like a thing. People like are making vision boards or whatever. But I just sort of intuited like young that if I believe in something and I spend a lot of time thinking about it, it's going to that will be pervasive. Like it will find its way into my actions. It'll find because also, such is the case with artists, be it comedy or anything else. We are obsessive, and
so obsessive.
All we do is think about a couple things. All we do is talk about a couple things. And if you're in a relationship, you see it even more because the relationship becomes a mirror to yourself, and you go, "Oh, I brought up this show I have coming up to my boyfriend 4 times already, and I can tell I'm exhausting him. So I'm only going to bring it up 2 times." You know what I mean? Like things like that. So I think you start to recognize that, like, I just sort of am goal oriented. That is how I've reframed obsession. Is like, okay, goal oriented, and when it's not goal oriented, try to jettison that. But yeah, I think that I very much manifest, and I try to be retroactive about it in that, like, I will look at my old to-do lists, and I'll look at my old, because I moved to Austin 10 months ago, and I had a couple expressed goals in doing so, a couple of which like I accomplished, and it made me feel better on a day I was really depressed and like self-loathing, because I was like, oh no, I do the things I set out to do, and I have to not just enjoy that process on the way there, because that when you have a mission, you have confidence.
Yeah.
Because you're choosing to do something that you think is difficult, which
you wouldn't have chose it if you didn't think you were capable.
And actually, I think sometimes I try to choose things that I think I probably can't do but might be able to. Because I go, oh, if I do, then the reward is tenfold. Then I'm really working hard, and I have like a guilt complex about hard work, probably because of how I grew up, and also because I'm a comedian, and what the fuck do we do? Nothing.
Oh yeah, also everybody was just raised in this whole, all of your self-worth comes from your accomplishments and your productivity.
Totally.
And to try to bust out of that, as much as I do actively seek to bust out of that, the programming runs so deep.
So deep. And that's like one of my methods for, reprogramming that is to stop and smell the roses, even if that just means like I had a goal and I did it. Because it also, Brian Callan told me this. He was like, the things that you set out for and like you work hard for, like you get them. It just really matter of fact. And I think he was kind of talking to me specifically, but also was just saying that as a proverb, which I think is true. Like maybe not down to the exact specific minutia of the goal.
Yeah, not that phrasing, but that would be in a fortune cookie, like with
sure.
a different arrangement of words.
Even just as like an ideal, you get what you want. I think that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't mean like the exact, house or car or whatever, but like inside.
You get what you believe you're worth.
Exactly. Like the thing that you're chasing to feel, like you will get. And I'm like, and then really where the conversation went is like, so what are you going to choose? Like choose good things. And that is all what I tell myself and don't do. I don't do any of that.
Sounds like you do though. Do you believe in anything metaphysical?
I am. When you give me an example of metaphysical. Or actually here. Mm-hmm. So there's like an explanation of like when you're thinking about somebody and then they text you in that moment. Yes. That is like quantum mechanics.
Yes.
I have none of the information, but I'm fully signed up. Mm-hmm. Totally believe in that.
I'm so on board with that shit too. I just have had so many synchronicities that I'm like, these are not a coincidence. There's no fucking way. Like the weird shit that I have called in, and especially things that I wanted for years and was obsessing about.
Right.
The moment I figured out how to release it, and it often wasn't a conscious decision. It was like I just released it because I was just busy obsessing with other things.
Sure.
And then it came to be.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, if I could only be so proactive about all the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, part of it is also like trusting your intuition about that the way you did. Because now at 33, I might wake up on a day and go, they're going to cancel. I know they're going to cancel. And then I will navigate my day knowing they're going to cancel. And then I'm right. And then maybe sometimes I'm not fully convinced, so I'll kind of be prepared for either option. But like, I don't think that that's like even woo-woo. I think in the same way that like
it gets
radio
painted as
waves
such.
existed before we had radios. There's stuff we can't explain that we intuit, that we feel.
Totally.
Like you're not crazy for like thinking that person was going to text you on the day they did, even though you hadn't spoken in 4 weeks. Like stuff is being communicated by our bodies and minds that like it maybe isn't our business to yet know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess I am pretty woo-woo.
I love it.
I'm definitely I would consider myself like an excited agnostic when it comes to ghosts, aliens. Like I want to fight one. Like I really want them to. I was
ask you about ghosts.
Yeah, I want them to exist just so I can be like, what the fuck's up, dude? Like,
you wouldn't want to live with a ghost?
I would be open to. You know, how is he as a roommate? Honestly, like I don't want to be annoyed. I like I have no problem with like a ghost there who's just watching me, but if he like wants to talk all the time, get the fuck out of Dodge, dude. No, I would rather an alien abduct me, anally probe me once a month than a ghost who's like, what are you doing tonight? Like all the time. No way.
How are you feeling?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. You're like, it just can't be a moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, you couldn't go to hell. You had to be here.
Like, I will seance. I'm getting the fucking sage. You're out of here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting is that I think most people who believe in ghosts, the most exciting version of somebody telling you they believe in ghosts is when they have a story. And the most exciting version of when they have a story is when they have a story about a ghost they didn't know when the ghost was alive. If you believe in ghosts because your grandma, shut up, dude. There's your grandma. You loved her. It was a butterfly. It wasn't her. Okay? I'm tired of that. I want to hear like me and my buddies, we broke into my old middle school because asbestos poisoning, so they closed it down. So we went in there, and then like, you know, legless Lenny, the janitor, chased us out. Like I still have the scar. Like I want that. I don't want this just like just shut up. Like I want real ghosts. I want scary ghosts with like teeth and like. I don't want just like a barely you could see it old person.
I know. I don't know any firsthand encounters that are like that outside of the stuff I've seen on TV, which I am hesitant to believe.
Yeah, I
haven't had anybody tell me about a ghost that they don't know.
I bet you have this too, just based on some of the stuff you said. I have a lot of like weird sleep things and dreams and nightmares and stuff that have a feeling that is sometimes supernatural.
Mm-hmm. I have had that.
Yeah. Gimme.
Okay. It makes me sound creepy. I was like trying to connect with this guy on Raya. And I was like looking him up on Instagram and stuff. And I'm like, what's his fucking deal? So I'm like following him, you know, paying attention to him for a little while. And then I'm like, I think he's dating someone, but I don't know who. And then I was on a walk. And something just told me on the walk, and I can't tell you what. And it was after a dream that I had that he like had a girlfriend, right? So I had this dream that he had a girlfriend. And then I was going to like stop my walk short, but something said, keep walking further down this block. Just walk further down this block because you wanted to check out this like store on the other end of the street. And I walk by and I see this girl, and she like reminds me of this girl that I saw on TikTok months ago, musician, totally unrelated. And I'm like, let me look up that musician. And that was his fucking girlfriend.
How did you connect that it was his girlfriend?
Because then they
were in content together or something?
They had a content together. They were like liking each other's stuff and following each other. She was like following pretty obscure friends of his, and I figured it out based on a dream and a hunch that I had to walk further down the block. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Yeah. So I have things like that happen where I do think that that's like intuition and a gut feeling.
You just have
and
ghosts going like, he gonna cheat on you, girl.
I know.
Keep walking. You gonna see that shit.
Right? So I'll get messages like that, probably. Just a white ghost who's just like culturally appropriate.
I died. I can talk however I want.
So stuff like that, where I'll get just like weird signals about things.
Yeah, I don't know that any of mine have been that direct, but I do feel that like when I'm dreaming, like it might just be me communicating with a different part of me. I don't think it's like, it's not like in my dreams I know calculus, but but I do feel like I get sometimes maybe just emotional information that I didn't have
Yeah.
when I sleep. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff that's like kind of spooky. Like I'll have these really really intense nightmares that are so visual, and I'm often not in them. Like it's.
Do you remember your dreams when you wake up?
Yeah, like crystal clear.
Yeah.
And then if I was reading about this, if you write them down in vivid detail, you will actually train your brain to memorize them throughout the day. But your brain does a thing where it actively and immediately tries to dump your dream visuals.
Mine get dumped right away. I need someone to sit in like a cuck chair at the end of my bed and like take notes of what my dreams are. Because I'm not going to remember first thing.
I remember as soon as I wake up, but I feel it go away. Because I also have this weird thing. It's really cool. I want to learn how to make it happen more. But when I'm between unconscious, when I'm in that semi-conscious space where
I forget if it's theta or delta brainwaves or something. There's like a brainwave that's like that right in between awake and asleep.
I'm going to look into that. When I'm coming out or coming in, I'll hear music, and it's not music I've ever heard before, and it's usually just instruments, and it's so incredible and like it is amazing. And sometimes I'll hum it when I wake up to try to, and then maybe voice note it or something. I don't know, I can't play instruments, so I can't really recreate it anyway. Mm-hmm. But there have been like 3 times where I heard a song that didn't exist from an artist I like.
You just reminded me of something really weird that used to happen to me when I was a teenager. I would sleep with the radio on, or I had it like set to it would like play at a certain time. And I used to be so obsessed, and it's so funny because like this band is beyond canceled. Do you remember the band Lost Prophets? Their lead singer like went to jail for being a horrible pedophile. I think he got killed in jail recently.
Really?
Yeah. Damn. Anyway, I used to be obsessed with them when I was like 14.
Oh, you were his demo.
No, I was too old. Isn't that fucked up? Anyway, I was like so obsessed with one of their songs though, and I would always wake up before my alarm, and I would get up and like there was silence, and then after I was awake the song would start.
Huh.
And that would happen a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just another kind of weird messaging thing that I was getting.
I have a really weird sleep thing. I feel like I've talked about this, at least in my life, endlessly. If anybody that watches this has any information or experience about something similar, please tell me, because my whole life I've been curious. From age like 5 until maybe age 12, I would get this thing that would happen at night. And it, first 5 years it would happen like 10 times a year, and then 8 times a year, and 6 and 4 and 2, and now it'll happen maybe once every 3 years, and it's very brief. And what it is that as I fall asleep, it's like I go through that semi-conscious place, and then before I get to sleep, there's this other place that I'm in, and I'm lucid. And it was the first time, because I lucid dream. I'm not great at it, but I'm at the very least, I can't necessarily like manifest stuff or make whatever I want to happen, but I am conscious and I have like a good amount of control. And usually I just fly, and it's awesome. And it's physically convincing. Like I've woken up sad that that's not real. But so this thing would happen where as I pass out, I would be in a place that I can only describe as like opposite binaries. So it's bright white, and it's also pitch black. And sometimes it's oscillating.
So trippy.
Yeah. But sometimes it just is both. Like I don't know how you could describe the feeling of being in like obsidian black and also just like bright white, but I'm there. And I feel that my body is moving, and it's moving at lightning speed in slow motion is the only way I can describe it. And then it's silent and loud. and it's all these different sensations are happening, and I'm just kind of whipping around this space and seeing weird like sort of images and stuff, and it was terrifying as a kid, and I couldn't get out of it. And eventually I would either like wriggle so hard or start crying or whatever, and it would break out of it. So it was happening for like a decade, and then it stopped happening. And I would be scared to go to sleep as a kid because I thought it might come. And then now, the last time it happened was it only happened for like a little bit. And then once I kind of recognize, oh, this is, and I become lucid, then I wake up. But I'm so desperate to know, like, what is that? The explanation is probably just like, hey, you're tired. But like, pretty sure I'm going to hell or something.
I think, but this doesn't make sense for you being an adult, but in childhood when there's really intense dreams like that, and this is probably lore and not actually true, but I used to have similar dreams where I was like falling, and I was told that meant you were like growing, like you were physically growing, and that's why you had such intense dreams.
I'd heard an explanation of the falling thing, which some people call sleep kick, which is, I think they talk about it in Inception too. I remember hearing that it's a evolutionary like vestige of monkeys sleeping in trees and jolting awake when they would fall out of the trees. I don't know if there's any truth in that.
Yeah, but I like that.
It's cool.
I hope it's
true.
It is cool.
Sounds good. I was telling somebody about this the other day. I was maybe 7. And my body was basically being dribbled when I would sleep as a kid. I was getting sleep kicks all the time. I still get them. But one time, I distinctly remember waking up and falling to the bed. Like 4 feet of space between me and the bed, and my body just plummeting and bouncing off and waking up and going... And I swear that
You're like, was I levitating?
I truly, I really believe that it happened. I don't know what the explanation. Maybe I was just a haunted ass kid.
Maybe the ghost that you were looking for was you all along.
Would you be stoked or bummed out if like tomorrow you realized you are actually a ghost?
I would be relieved. I'd be like, are the bills also ghosts? Is the debt also a figment of my imagination?
Yeah, it's all taken care of. But you gotta go. You gotta go upstairs now.
Yeah. Ooh, I would have to figure out who to haunt. I have so many options.
Would you haunt, or would you go to those are your options?
I'll haunt.
Paradise or haunt?
Haunt all day. Haunt and help. I would like to do both.
Oh, okay.
I would like to stick around so that I could help those I want to help, but I'm haunting too, bitch. I'm haunting.
Are you revealing that it's you?
No. Secret haunt and secret help.
I think that's where we differ. I don't know that it would give me pleasure to terrorize someone unless I could be like, it's fucking me and it's because of what you did.
Remember when you didn't answer my DM?
And also help too.
Yeah.
I gotta really love you to help for no credit. I don't know about that.
I can't only like hurt for credit or help for credit,
Yeah.
and then the other one be secret. I need it all to be pretty secret.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I would just go to... I don't know that I would actually just go meet the maker because you don't know what that is.
Right.
What do you think it is?
I lean towards reincarnation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel pretty strongly about us coming back.
Why is that?
I just think there's a finite number of souls bouncing around, and that each soul comes back because it has to learn something new in each lifetime. And I'm not super, super firm on that, but that resonates with me more than the idea of an afterlife.
Yeah.
For what? Infinity?
Sure. Well, I think I kind of go like a la carte with mine. I go like reincarnate. Like you can reincarnate if you get tired of infinity. You can like take a spin or whatever. But like,
I like that.
I think it actually just stresses me out that it is reincarnation because I'm like, I don't want. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I just did. I think the reason I'm always stressed is because I used to be a different guy, and now I'm like, we gotta do this shit again, dude. So I think
I just saw a meme today that was like babies cry because they're like, this fucking shit again.
That's great. So glad that the joke that I just came up with, that I was like, I'm going to try that on stage. Some fucking 17-year-old.
Listen, every joke has already been come up with.
It's true, man. It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Reincarnation, because then do you go with the, is it the Hindi route of like, you could be a bug, you could be... Like, does your finite number of souls include animals?
I would like it to. I don't know that I've thought that much into it.
Asians?
I think probably yes. Yeah, definitely Asians.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I could come back as a smart Asian next time. I could come back really good at math for the next round. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I went straight to polite racism.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that.
I mean, I put you in a hole. I was like, hey, hang out in racist for a little while.
I went straight to quadratic equations.
Yeah. No, you saved us.
I'm coming back as AI next time. Fuck this shit.
Damn, that's an interesting thought. I was kind of writing about this where, like, maybe I'm spoiling a bit, but whatever. You can help me. I'm fast forwarding through this joke. Essentially, self-driving cars, right? And in my preferential way to find out about that is that we're living in Austin. There are no self-driving cars. And because they just released them. They just went, okay, get in.
Good luck.
And so I would have preferred if the mayor or an inventor came out and said, we made cars that drive themselves. And then I would have been at the press conference and I would have said, you made self? You made a self. Like, let's pause on that. You made a self-driving car. Okay, so the car is driving itself. So you made a soul. You made a guy and you put it in a Honda? Like, hold the fucking phone. So when you say, like, maybe you come back as, you know, an elephant seal or whatever, are elephant seals barking and violent because there's Terrence is in there like, this fucking sucks? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Were you just a chill guy?
Somebody asked me what I think his voice sounds like, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin my perception of him by giving him a voice. I think he's above that. I think he's above the annoyances of humans. He's too perfect and precious.
I love it.
Yeah.
I agree. Did you see the movie Hail Mary?
Mm-mm.
So it's about a teacher who's formerly a mathematician, who's essentially canceled because he's just got rogue science.
This sounds like the story of Jeffrey Epstein.
So he makes an island. So, you know, the world's ending, and they're like, we need that teacher to do it because he had rogue science. And he's like, oh, I thought you didn't want my rogue science. Like, we need you. Fuck you. Come on, man. So he goes into space. Da-da-da-da. He meets an alien, and the alien is like a rock creature. And they have a really, really interesting way of, they basically like create an entire language system for this species. And it's really fascinating. So it's like through the manipulation of like non-organic matter, like rocks and metals and thin metal wiring, and like air in and out of this rock creature's like chest and sort of like stoma, it sings effectively. Like it plays music, but it's sort of a combination of like speech and song and music. And I just thought it was like such a fascinating way to go like, yeah, a different thing would speak a different way. So maybe Monty like doesn't have a voice. Like maybe he has just like some other thing. Maybe he doesn't sound. Yeah, maybe barking is like that's how we talk.
Yeah, I guess so. Would you rather, this is so out of left field, but with my whole snake encounter thing, I'm just asking people this now. Would you rather get bit by a venomous snake or a shark?
I mean, hands down a venomous snake. Now, well, okay.
I feel strongly that I would rather get bit by a shark.
You are out of your mind. First of all, your average shark is swallowing you whole.
I know. I'd prefer that.
Okay, wait, yeah, so then here's the qualifiers. Is it one-shot kill? Like, if I get bit by the snake, the venom kills me. If I get bit by the shark, I die?
Yeah, I guess so, to even the playing field.
Okay.
Or both are non-lethal.
I'll tell you what. Shark is scarier because I imagine it's not happening on land.
Yeah.
So you gotta also swim? I'm not in a pool. It's not going to be like 4 doggy paddles and I'm out. I'm in the middle of the fucking ocean. A shark bites me, and then he's like, "Oh, actually, no." And then I got to swim back to shore. Fuck that, dude. I'd rather get bit by. If it was like 50 snakes, then I think it would be. Even so, I don't know. I see these videos of Indian guys pimp slapping these things. Like, they don't give a shit, dude. There's a way to handle snakes. They, like, respect your gangster. A shark doesn't give a fuck.
Did you see the video of RFK just grabbing 2 snakes? I forget whose house he was at, but there's just a video of him, like, grabbing 2 snakes and getting bit over and over again. That's
great. Was he doing it, like, because like, the venom's good for you? Like, did he, like, think it was going to make him jacked or whatever?
I think probably. They're non-venomous, but I don't know that he, like, knew that. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he's like that guy Rob from Love Island and he just knows his snakes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, but it's the most, like, RFK video. It's just him grabbing 2 fucking snakes and shaking them for and they're just biting him over and over and over.
I have to see that. Because I mean, no disrespect.
And I'm like, that's our guy.
Yeah.
That's who's telling us what we should eat and take for medicine.
But also, like, don't grab a snake by the fucking neck. The whole thing.
And he grabbed 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing is neck.
The whole thing's neck, dude. If I grabbed you by the neck, you would know it's a threat. So you touch them anywhere, they're like, this motherfucker's trying to choke me, dude. Doesn't count. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, snakes are... We have an inherent fear trigger for snakes that is like biological and evolutionary. Like,
it's so much worse for them than for sharks. I do think I'm like one of the rare people that says sharks, but I think because I used to surf, I've come to a point of acceptance between me and God that I could get bit by a shark. So I've like come to terms with that. So that's why I'm so much more okay with that than a fucking snake. The snake thing, I never even thought I would see one. And then I started seeing them. And now all of a sudden it's this like really new, really unfortunate piece of information that I have to process that's got me thinking this way.
In life, so
I did get to snakes later. Yeah.
I think I might have had the same thing, but like growing up in Jersey, like you would occasionally see a snake. I saw a video that was so upsetting, and one of the scarier things that I've seen. There's a snake, and a dude is trying to kill it with a shovel, and he cuts its head off, and you know it takes a while for the nervous system to shut down. So then he like reaches for it, and this snake blinks and bites at him just ahead. Fuck that! Fuck that! No,
a shark
zombie
would never.
Snake? Shark would never. It would have the decency to just be chilled.
Yeah.
Sharks are so scary too, though. One, because of the size.
But they don't even want to bite you.
I don't think that's true.
Snakes want to bite you.
No, they have a good PR team. We don't want to bite you. Like, no, fucking yeah, you do. You're all mouth, dude. You're a mouth with a missile
seals
attached to the back of it.
They don't want us. Because you see videos of people being friends with sharks and swimming around with, all the time. There's people that just go and hang out with sharks. And the sharks are like, what's up, Phil? You're back. Like, you're back on another dive. Whereas, like, a snake, you can never make a friendship with a snake.
That's not true. There's people on 6th Street with 11 snakes hanging off of them. You can hold them for $1. Snakes are whores. A shark's going to take some convincing, dude. Sharks are so scary because they're literally designed to be an apex predator. Like, first of all, unless you're a killer whale, they're sort of impenetrable. Their like scales one way are sharp the other way, and that's the direction they swim. They have rows of teeth that literally just replace, and they do it forever. It's just it doesn't matter if they have candy or not. They're just another one comes in. Like, they're death machines. They're a bear trap with fins.
Isn't that fucked up that we only get 2 sets of teeth?
So fucked up.
Don't you hate that?
I do hate that.
We should get another full brand new set of teeth at some point in adulthood.
Why? And I'm going to look in the camera as if God's watching. Hey, dude, why just the teeth replaced? Well, give me a new elbow. Like, give me some other bones. We get 2 sets of teeth, but not 2 sets of other bones,
But
dude?
that's so unfair that you get the second set at like fucking 7.
Right.
You barely even had time to drive the first ones.
Right. They're giving me the oatmeal and popsicles so far. Like, I didn't even get to the good stuff.
We should get another set of teeth at like 30.
You should get another set of bones at 80.
I know.
You know how much that would help my grandma? We gotta watch her all the time now. So inconvenient.
Grandma, stop trying to swallow pennies. Knock it off. Gotta put the covers on the outlets like it's a kid. Grandma, stop.
She just keeps eating pennies.
Grandma, quit eating marbles.
She thinks you make the money if you do that.
I don't know where that came from. Oh, that went so sideways.
Yeah, or there was snakes.
Snakes. We could get off of that. Let's switch to, I like to get men's POVs on dating.
Okay.
As a single woman out here in the woods, do you think it's ever okay for a woman to ask a man out?
As a matter of fact, yeah. I think it's awesome if that happened. I actually think that anything gendered outside of the relationship, or rather before the relationship, is bad, and everything good has more to it than we'd like to acknowledge in 2026. What I mean by that is like, it's like a weird thing for a girl to ask a guy out. Why? That makes it clear. Here's the thing. Single dudes that are interested in a girl want more than anything else to just have some security in whether or not she is into me. Like, are we going to see each other? Am I going to have to play this texting game? Should I wait a day? Is she going on other dates? Like, what does she actually think about me? Because, dude, we're all insecure. Men are all insecure. Women are all insecure. But our insecurity is piloting a guy pretending to be more confident than anyone you've ever met. So any information that you can give him, yeah, do you want to grab a drink? Every time that's ever happened to me, I'm like, we're off to sea with such a good start because I can be a better me knowing how you feel about me. Then when you get into the relationship, gendered stuff I think has a lot more weight to it than I think people are like willing to talk about. Like whether it's, you know, like cooking and cleaning or holding the door. Like I'm pretty traditional in that way. And if I'm ever not, I don't respect you. That's why I didn't hold the door open or something. Like some of this shit is just decency, but I think they're like, I had an ex-girlfriend who she'd been married before we were together, and she said that her ex-husband just like never did manly stuff. Like he never like built furniture, and he never like carried the TV up the stairs, and and like that's baffling to me because I'm like, I owe it to you because of our biological difference. If you saw me and you standing outside Best Buy and you just bought a flat screen, who would you like to help you? Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, I'll fucking build the shit. And then you do whatever the flip of that is. Like that's just the parts we come with. Some of that gender stuff is not about like feminism. Like it's not about that. That's not the issue.
I'm with you, but I have like an opposite take on a little bit of an opposite take on that. Like I also think that people are getting a little carried away with the whole gender is a construct thing. No, it's not. There's biological imperatives involved, period.
Yeah, I think we're pretty aligned on that.
Yeah, we're pretty aligned on that. And so to me, I think I agree with you that women need to signal more so that a guy feels less vulnerable in a situation where he asks out. Yeah. But I think because of the way that like the sperm chases the egg, that like it sets up a potential level of resentment later and a weird beginning if the woman is the chaser in the beginning. I feel like that shouldn't happen.
For the woman, it creates a resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
agree.
even for the man, because he didn't have to overcome something. Because when you look at all these like fairy tales and just the history of everything, it's like a guy has, you know, Mario has to get to the princess in the castle. Every prince has to like slay a dragon or whatever. Yeah. If a guy's not doing anything and the woman's just approaching him with everything,
I agree.
Isn't he not going to be that into her?
I agree. I think it's definitely, I think broadly, totally true. And then it can become circumstantial. In my experience, I can say a couple things. It has been true for me that if a girl is super into me, I lose interest. However, in the getting to know her, I realize this is not somebody that I would have made a difference for her to be withholding. Had she been like reticent about her feelings, it might have coaxed me to try harder, but not for a relationship that I would have discovered was what I wanted. If I'm fall in love with somebody, it doesn't really matter how the beginning goes. Okay. And actually I think sometimes because of that it's a bit clunky. But speaking to the point you made about like having the resentment, I had an ex who had this perception of that when I met her and her best friend at the time in the same moment. And my strategy was to invite them both to a show because it would have been fucking insane if I went, hey, the pretty one, do you want to come to my show? Fuck out of here. And she always held it against me that because when we had met, I said, oh, I'll send you guys a DM to come to the show, whatever. So I got both of their Instagrams, which to me was just like the decent thing to do. And I was also I didn't want to, I think all guys have, unless you're meeting somebody one-on-one and the context is that like you are hitting on them, which usually happens because of some signals. All guys otherwise have this fear that she's going to think I'm hitting on her because all girls think you're hitting on them because all guys are hitting on you.
Yeah.
It's all true. It's all true. So we're all doing...
It's so true. I'm so glad you said it.
These backflips to try to beat the thought and get to the start and go, I'm not tricking myself to not even hitting on you. Want to come to the show? And so part of that for me was to invite them both to the show. And so I sent them both like pretty similar DMs. And then, you know, at this point, it's like you come to the show.
But you wanted one there, not really the other one.
Certainly. And so they came to the show.
They're both like, he's hitting on us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other girl, the one who I did not end up dating's personality made that even more the case. But I believed my, intentions and signals were like fairly clear. So then we started dating, and it would be a talking point sometimes. Like it would be an argument we would have. And she had made a point, something to the effect of like, you didn't like pursue me. And it was so frustrating to me because I'm like, do you understand that like you're here? It worked. You should be thankful. Everything I did, your brain might not be able to understand the levels of like Machiavellian planning that went into the word choice of the like. Part of getting you was convincing you that I wasn't trying to get you. That's how fucked you are. That's not on me. I gotta learn French to speak to you in English. Like, what do we? It's nuts. It's nuts. But I'm also an asshole and wrong somehow too. Truly. I don't know.
But I do think that's a common line of thinking. Yeah. It's honest.
Yeah. You should, if you like somebody, you should just be clear. Because here's the thing. You're going to fight and break up later anyway. Who cares? Like, it's going to go so bad at some point that you think, like, mid-fight, why would you even talk to my mom like that? You think you're going to go, yeah, but you did approach me. So, okay, all right, my bad. Like, there's no credit system.
I just learned an interesting statistic recently that if a couple breaks up and they get back together, their chances of survival post getting back together are only 10%.
Of course. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I've been through it. I mean, I think to beat those odds, it takes two people who are willing to both internalize and externalize the words and actions of we are moving on together. And if one of us has a moment where we don't, we will acknowledge that as a lapse and work harder on it. You find two people that have broken up over something and then get back together. They're getting back together out of attachment and love. But the problems didn't go away.
Right.
So unless you go, oh, our relationship has cancer and we both got to do chemo all the time and then acknowledge when we skipped it, you got no fucking shot. And the thing is, when you have pain and when you have resentment and you're carrying that into you even being there is you trying so hard that the additional homework of like getting rid of resentment, accepting your... It's just impossible. It's not because you don't love them. Maybe you don't, but like... It's just too many things for a heart to manage.
I think so too. I've never gotten back together with anybody, so I've not personally experienced it, but I've seen it. Every couple that I know that's gotten back together, with the exception of one, which they are that 10%, hasn't worked for anybody else. Because people don't spend enough time apart either. It's like maybe if you were to come back to each other years later where you actually may have worked on the thing that made you both break up.
Right.
But if you're getting back together after like a couple weeks or a couple months or something, like you have not actually had enough time apart to work on whatever it was that broke you up in the first place.
It's very true. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it too, because if people break up, breaking up to me is the impressive part. That's the hard part. Getting back together, even if you think there's not a snowball's chance in hell that you two will ever speak again, that is the thing that in my mind is like more likely than if you are in a loving relationship and choose to break up. Because here's the thing. If you choose to get back together with somebody, you know that it might not work out. So you're choosing to have them for as long as you can.
Mm-hmm.
When you break up with somebody, you are saying, I might never have you again. There is a finality in that. You have to be in a pretty specific situation and kind of be a piece of shit to just go like, I'm breaking up with you. And that's why like I've definitely held resentments about people that have like tried to end a relationship with me while I knew in my heart that like we could still be together or we could work through it, or that they didn't want to but were. And then we got back together, and I'd be like, I'm so glad we got back. I was right. You know what I mean? But then I look at that from the flip side, and it's like, no, that's also a lot to put on somebody. It's really hard to. I think I've been taken back from stuff I would never take somebody back for, and that gave me more understanding about like certain breakups I had, because nobody ever wants to be left, and everybody. Even us who don't understand ourselves, we have sympathy for ourselves. So when somebody breaks up with you, they probably do have sympathy for you, because whatever the breakup was, it was 6 months earlier. And so when they decide to leave you, you get the feeling that they're only thinking about the primary feeling they have, not the other feelings they have, and not your feelings. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, when we're in a relationship, we have this misperception that we're thinking about your feelings and my feelings, and I'm thinking about my feelings and your feelings all the time forever, and that it never goes anywhere. But the reality is that we're each only thinking about ourselves, and it works. Mm-hmm. It works that way. And then there are moments where we explicitly reach out and try to help one another. But like relationships in general are kind of a coin flip of, does this work, with zero intentionality from either of them? Mm-hmm. Like people just go like this.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking conversation. Me and you have a good conversation because that's they're just the pieces in me and the pieces in you work well together. You might have another guest on this podcast where you go like, oh, it would be so sick if someone killed me right now. And that's relationships too. Yeah. I've been in both where I go like, I just get along with this person. And then there's been other people where I'm like, yo, if only a stray bullet.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What's your favorite relationship advice you've ever heard?
Can I tell you my least favorite?
Yeah, please.
It's my least favorite because it hurt the most, and it hurt the most because it's the truest. So in a way, it's my favorite. The problems at the beginning are the problems at the end.
So simple.
And in my experience, that's always been the case. The things that...
How do you know the problems at the beginning?
You feel them. I think you know. I think every time you get a new relationship, you talk to anybody fresh off the street 2 days in, oh my God, I'm so excited. He does kind of like do this thing. For sure. Yeah. It's impossible not to. Like if you walk into if you're seeing, you are with your realtor and you're checking out new houses and they're showing you exclusively mansions, you're going to leave going like, that place was a beautiful, amazing place. The kitchen's like kind of weird. You just meet motherfuckers and have things. Mm-hmm. I think like people started calling them icks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's yours? What's your best relationship advice?
My best relationship advice, I have to think about it. I'm also a perpetually single person, so no one should be taking relationship advice from me. However, what I think is important on my next one going in is that you have to air stuff right away when you feel it. Yeah. Because if you don't talk about it and you let it fester, the way that I've actually talked to a lot of like relationship therapists and marriage counselors on this show, and that's something they keep conveying when I ask them this question, is that if you're, let's say like a problem, I'm mad at you at something, that's like a pebble on the table. And if I put it in my backpack to deal with it later, that backpack is going to be full of pebbles and it's going to be so heavy and it's going to weigh me down. So I think the best advice is as soon as you're feeling something, like deal with it as soon as you can in an appropriate way.
Yes. And if you're with a reasonable, mature person,
they'll hold space for that.
yeah, and they can't hold space for a bag of boulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only caveat to that is I'll say what you said, which is that you should express a problem you have immediately unless you're a boy. Don't do it, idiot. What do you think is going to happen? You think she's going to go, "Oh my God, you're right. I was doing that. Let me be accountable for that. Apologize, change behavior, and move on." Yeah, not, oh, okay. Dudes don't, when dudes don't change a behavior, they're just not trying hard enough and they don't care. And maybe you have something to do with that. I'm not saying it's just because they're an idiot. Maybe they
don't value you enough to change for you.
Yeah, or they can't, but the effort will be so clear and there'll be communication about the struggle. But if a dude just like doesn't stop doing a thing you hate or whatever, he just isn't trying to do. He just doesn't care. If a woman doesn't, it's because she won't. Because she can't, because she won't. And it is circular. I am also like a lunatic and really like, I'm super neurotic and I'm exceedingly anxious and obsessive, and I have like a litany of like brain stuff, and also just like,
as comedians, we're all so mentally ill, because you're saying that and I'm like, same.
But also
same.
like, and I'm not saying this like, woe is me. I just mean like, I have definitely actively made relationships I was in worse because like I couldn't change my own behavioral patterns and my perspectives on things. And so all that to say that like, what I think I'm asking for in a relationship is something that I struggle to do. So I think most guys should try to choose someone better than them, because if you have a woman in your life that is great, it will make your life better. A woman,
everyone knows that,
doesn't. It's true.
Yeah.
A woman only needs a man if she needs a man financially. That's it. That's that's it. That's totally it. Like, you might be lonely, you might be horny, but you don't. But a man like needs a woman. Our entire identity is built around, I must get to the top of the mountain and have my wife. Like, it's different. You guys seem to,
men need mission in order. They need like a path, like a thing, and that typically is family.
Yeah. Well, it's also a place for our sentimentality. It's a place for the feelings that we're more allowed to feel privately with. Like, dudes are allowed to be cute with kids.
Yeah.
With kids around, or privately with their girlfriend. But, and then inversely, women are sort of seen with a side eye if they are strong and independent in a way that has traditionally been like a masculine quality.
Yeah. But we can always hire someone to do all of those things.
Right. That's true. And you do.
Mm-hmm.
You often do. But there is no equivalent of like hiring a woman, not as a prostitute, but as an emotional hooker. You can't have that.
To help you like find a time to giggle, because you're not going to giggle with your boys.
Yeah. The same way that they have like cat cafes, there should just be a place that you and your boys can go and tickle each other. Yeah. Just have a lark.
What's the most romantic thing you've ever done?
I've done a lot of romantic stuff. 'Cause I gesture because I think I don't. I have a problem where I don't give enough meaning to the everyday things. And so I'm always trying to create scenes and gestures, and I'm trying to imbue things with importance that I don't feel regularly. And so when I really, really love someone, I'm kind of excited at the idea of finding a way to communicate everything that I'm feeling in like one moment that you'll remember like it's a movie scene. So the downside to that is that I am now kind of recognizing that as a marker of an unhealthy relationship for me, because I've you know, I'll tell you what the romantic anecdote is, but I've since been in things that are healthier, where I don't feel that need. So at some point I recognized, oh, this is not me saying I love you. This is me asking if you love me. And that was pretty damning.
It's a big like come to moment where you realize that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like codependence in there and a lot of insecurity, and it doesn't like make the love impure. Like I had, to answer your question, I'd rented a rooftop that I met an ex on, and like blindfolded her and like took her there for like wine and stuff like that. And I'd also like written a lot of songs, and like, you know, done everything. But also I've made rap albums, so I don't know how romantic that is. You know what I mean? I didn't like learn to do stand up to be like, knock knock, who's there? Will you marry me? You know what I mean? Oh my god, he's never even done stand up before. You know what I mean? Like I'm using my talent, so there's like there's that component of it. But there was definitely some romantic stuff. I like to do cute stuff because I feel safe in that. Like I used to just write like little cute things on like tiny little pieces of paper and just put them in my girlfriend's hair, so that in the morning she'd be like, what the fuck, oh my god, you're adorable. What? I
love that.
And then I gaslight her. She's like, babe, somebody put this in my hair. And I'm like, who did it? Oh my god. What about you? What's the most romantic thing you've ever done?
I bought a guy a tattoo once.
Of?
Family crest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's romantic. I thought you were going to be like swastika.
I'm not. That's for my husband. That's reserved for him only. No, I'm like, other than paying for stuff, I don't think I've done anything particularly gone out of my way to be romantic.
What's the most romantic thing you've had done for you?
Oh, that's just going to make me sad. There's not really anything that, like, yeah.
It'll come.
It will.
Because I
don't date a ton.
But you're also everybody's a specific person. But also you are actually a very specific person, and you're self-aware, and you're like actively investigating yourself and what it is to be dating. So like inevitably you will find someone who's a great fit, and then they'll see in you the things that make you happy, and then they'll do a crazy romantic thing for you.
I could tell you what I think it should be.
Oh.
I think it would be so funny and silly if it had to do with something I'm like obsessed with. Like I've talked about it ad nauseum on this show, but I have like a hilariously unique obsession with the Fast and the Furious. So I feel like if someone could find a way to like incorporate that into something.
Family.
Yeah, I know. Like, will you be my family?
That's
the engagement.
So funny and so specific.
No, something like anytime anyone that I've dated has been really thoughtful and considerate of like my dog, you know, that's always really special when it's like they don't mind, you know, when he gets the Prince treatment, like the extension of treating me well goes over to him or goes over to my friends. I really appreciate if someone is like being really mindful of my friends and like making plans for me and them, maybe that don't even include him, like things like that.
Yeah. You want a really good boyfriend. I mean, but all that stuff is also kind of just like what it should be.
Do. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that romance is interesting because the connotation of it feels like it's a less active role for women. Like we were talking about earlier with like the pursuit is kind of our job.
Yeah, like it'd be kind of an ick if I was like, if I fucking set up a room with rose petals and candles. That would be a little weird.
No, it would be super bizarre.
Yeah.
It would be super bizarre. And I think it's partly because, it's cultural, societal, whatever, but it's also because we don't really expect affection that way. It's usually channeled into something. I made you dinner. I cleaned this thing. I whatever. But it is a sort of like very romance is often a very visual showing of love, and I think it is intimidating to a lot of guys because they go like, "Bro, you made all this? Like, I should have fucking hung that." You know what I mean? But I do think there's like a part of me too that wants not to be like pursued necessarily, but like romance feels good. I remember one time in college, I dated a girl who had a boyfriend when we met, and he was a jerk and did a bunch of terrible stuff. And so she broke up with him, and she was kind of breaking up with him to date me. And it was so dramatic and so NYU. I was at NYU for film. And she messaged me and she was like, meet me outside. And so like I went outside and it was pouring rain, and she just like ran up to me. It was as if she like left, and actually she quite literally broke up with him and walked into our relationship, and she like kissed me in the rain, and it actually was like a huge sentiment of like being chosen, which I remember feeling like I like that feeling. Being chosen is special to me. Like, I don't know if you identify with this, but like when, I guess not, because you haven't like invited a guy to see you perform, but when I would invite girls to see me perform, if I didn't, I can't believe I'm saying this is so gross, but if I didn't think I had the best set on the show, I had no interest in the girl liking me.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would happen to me too. But the only guys that I've dated that have ever seen me do stand-up are other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of the guys with regular jobs that I've dated have even gotten to a point where they've seen me at a show.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is by design. I'd rather them not.
Yeah, I either want you to see it right away or then we're waiting a little bit.
Yeah. I also think it's like, I can't hide this from you because you can just fucking go on my Instagram and watch videos of me doing it.
Right. Yeah, that's
so it's like, I'd rather think, oh, you already saw that, so you already accept this, so I don't need to like bring you into this unless we're so serious that you're like meeting my comedy friends, or we can't avoid a night where you come to a show with me.
Right.
I would just so rather it not be like a thing.
Right. Yeah, at this point, I don't know if this is the case for you. At this point in my life, it's rarer that somebody doesn't know I'm a comedian when they meet me.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone I've dated, I mean, in the last couple of years that wasn't a comedian knew right away, because everyone sees everything online right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if I met you off an app, I mean, my profiles, I'll say I'm a comedian.
Right. Right. And then, how old are you?
36.
Okay. So yeah, that's another thing too, is at our age, like, I think someone would have to be pretty young to have a photo of them doing stand-up on a dating profile and you not immediately assume it's their job.
Right.
Like, it's because some people have like a photo of them doing like maybe like a fishing trip or karaoke or something, and you're like, oh, maybe that was just like a funny thing they did. But it's like, it's kind of impossible to not know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might have been going for about an hour. Should we wrap this shit up?
Let's do it.
Wait, real quick. Can you tell me, do you have a morning routine?
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Morning routine, wake up, jack off. No, I wake up and I open my eyes and then I close my eyes again, and then I decide not to look at my phone for a little bit longer. I postpone looking at my phone, then inevitably look at my phone. But just kind of to see like texts and stuff. I'll try not to go into like Instagram or whatever. And then the second my legs are out of the bed, they're walking me to coffee. Like, I'll go make a coffee, and then I'll try to drink a glass of water and take like a couple medications and vitamins I take. And then I'm back in bed with the coffee, and now kind of like more productively going through my phone. And then I kind of just immediately like get to working on something. Yeah, and then once I feel like my brain's turned on and I've gotten like an hour or two of productive stuff, then I'll take a shower and get dressed. And then I'll sit back down as if I'm like at the office and like finished my morning commute. Nice. Yeah.
Love that. Well, Nick Callas, thank you so much for doing the show today.
Thank you for having me.
If people want to know where to learn more about you, where should they go?
At Mr. Nick Callas on Instagram, and it's Mr. Nick Callas on YouTube. And I'm trying to, by the time this comes out, where will I be? I'll be headlining in Boston at the Comedy Studio on June 11th. And I'll be in, hey, Canadians. I'll be in Canada August 17th through 22nd at the Comedy Cave in Calgary.
Nice. Hell yeah. Well, thanks so much for chatting it up.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
This is great.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. Bye. If you know somebody that would enjoy this episode, feel free to share it with them. And thank you for listening to Galina Rivina Podcastina, the show where I try to be the person my dog thinks I am. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. See you on the next one.